Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. This reading is for Gemini. Whew. Gemini already has a lot to say. Even if you're not a sun, moon, or rising Gemini, still feel free to watch or listen to today's episode as we all have Gemini in one of our 12 houses. I have mine in the 10th house, which means that my career is centered around, talking. Look at your 10th house if you're interested in looking at what your MC is, which is usually what we do in our careers or what we'd be good at. So we have the 6 of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the 7 of Cups. Someone could be confused about where they're going. You know there's a new beginning here, but you don't know how to find it. I'm hearing treasure map. Yeah, and it has something to do with your calling here, Gemini. And remember, even if you're not a Gemini, you can watch this. All right, let's get 3 cards. You could even be leaving something else and moving into another thing, and those two things are overlapping, some sort of an ending and some sort of a really positive new beginning. That could be bringing feelings of confusion because it's bittersweet. All right, let's get 3 cards. And see. For Gemini, I am filming this on the Lionsgate portal. I have my lion earrings on, my 8 necklace, got the gold. Yeah, walking away from something. But you are definitely moving towards something else and something new and something better with the Ace of Wands. You could just feel confused right now or feel a lot of different emotions. You could even feel like you did something wrong or you're doing something wrong. As long as you're going where you feel led to go, it's never going to be wrong. That might be controversial, but I've been in so many situations where I was so sure about something and then it didn't work out the way that I thought, or I was wrong about it or about the way I saw it. But I'm seeing the Hanged Man. Sometimes the universe puts us in situations on purpose. It doesn't mean that the last thing was wrong and the next thing is right. We're never really off track. Sometimes you have to kind of veer off the road so that you can find those like magical mushrooms out in the forest. We have the Star here. This is a time of you being able to dream again, Gemini, with the Star, to have hope again. You are following your North Star. Your heart is leading you where you need to go, even if you don't know where you're going. I'm seeing it like sleepwalking. I'm seeing you walking down the street and you are just going blindly and you're sleeping, but you're still going to get to the right place. I'm seeing you like at a restaurant ordering, I'll take a this and that, and you're totally asleep. 1, 2, and 3. The subconscious mind is a powerful thing. I mean, I say hello to people in dreamland all the time. We have the Star and the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords. You could be overthinking right now, Gemini. But don't forget, you're the king of swords. Your mind could just be kind of getting away from you. You could feel like your mind feels a little bit out of control. You could feel like old patterns are coming up. Because the king of swords, he's very reserved. He's buttoned up. He has it all together. Nine of Pentacles. Nothing really ruffles his feathers. He's not really surprised by much. He's kind of like a doctor archetype. Like if you come in like with some crazy like I don't know, like a toy arrow like stuck in your arm or something, he's not going to be like, "How the hell did you manage that?" This is just like a regular Tuesday for him. So you've seen a lot, you've understood many things about yourself and the world. Not much ruffles your feathers, but there's something here that is. And this is my synopsis of where you're coming from and what you're going into is it's the Seven of Cups. You are going the right way. You are doing the right things. You're actually in a time and a period of growth right now, Gemini, but your mind could just be running away from you. You could even subconsciously be running away from a new beginning of some kind, and it has to do with your calling. We had the Judgment card, and now we have the Star. We had the Six of Swords moving into the Ace of Wands at the beginning of the reading. So even if you're going blind, even if you're sleepwalking, you're the King of Swords. You could do this in your sleep. That's what Spirit's trying to show you. Literally, you could do this in your sleep, whatever this is. You could be doubting yourself right now with the Two of Pentacles. Let's take a look here, Gemini. Treasure map. This is your treasure map with the Star. It's going to lead you to some sort of oasis here where you feel like you belong. You can take care of this land here. This could even be something having to do with astrology. I mean, you could literally be like studying astrology. Some of you feel like you need more training in something, but you're the King of Swords. You have like your master's or your PhD, so to speak, in some sort of a study or a field, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know. I would just look at it this way. Do you know how many people are out here? They learned something a week ago, half-assedly on some like app, or they went to like one class and now they're like, "Hello, I'm an astrology expert." I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying. I'm talking to a Gemini. Like, you're a King of Swords. You're qualified. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's look, Page of Pentacles. You're looking at yourself as a Page of Pentacles, and maybe you are in this new thing with the Ace of Wands where you're going like half asleep because the map isn't within you, the treasure map. It's within you. You're moving into something new, but you first need to validate yourself for something old. Nine of Pentacles, Star, King of Swords. Just get real with me for a minute here, Gemini. Does this look like a novice to you? And some of you are like, "Well, I don't think of myself as a novice." There's something subconscious here that does. That could be what's coming up here. This mindset that you thought that you got rid of. Why is it coming up? I mean, I just spent years with Uranus in Taurus in my moon. I have a Taurus moon. Now we have Uranus. Speaking of, with this nod to Uranus with the Aquarius energy, we have Uranus and Gemini. It's kind of a rocky transit. Now, Gemini, as you guys are more, malleable. Taurus is more like, I like things to be this way, and you're coming in here with your crazy energy and messing up all my stuff. Basically, Gemini, you're already kind of eccentric thinkers. You think outside of the box, and I love you guys. That's one of my favorite things about Gemini. So I feel like you will have an easier time with this transit, but just keep that in mind. It is a big transit. Speaking of astrology. All right. All I know so far is you feel kind of wobbly right now, and it's actually because you're going into something new where you are a student. But first, you must give yourself credit. Well, you don't have to do anything first because you're already on the move. It's more this. Do you want to have peace as you're in that boat on the Six of Swords right now, as you're moving into your new beginning with the Ace of Wands? If the answer is yes, this is how you gain peace. It's through confidence. It's through knowing that you were more than qualified for something that you've already done in the past, which is actually what opened up the door to begin with to this new thing where you're a student again. But don't forget that you were a teacher over here already. The teacher appears when the student is ready, right? You could even be teaching yourself something. This doesn't have to be like going to school. This could be you're learning something new. This could even be something financial here with the Nine of Pentacles. Maybe you're learning how to invest. Because you already have something here that is a valuable basis to land, to rest your life upon. Does that make sense? So the next natural progression is to stir things up with the Two of Pentacles. And you might be thinking, like, with the Knight of Swords, what's going on here? Are my foundations moving around? I'm seeing the tectonic plates. You might feel like the foundation beneath you is like moving around. Precisely. They're trying to kind of rock your ego a little bit here on purpose to get you to a place where you're prepared for this next thing. It's not to hit you while you're down or to hit your confidence or to make you feel quite the contrary. Ironically enough, like I said before, it's to get you to admit to yourself that you're already an expert in something else. It's not really hanging up your hat with this other thing. It's more maybe putting on a new hat for a while. Maybe you need a break from something else. Maybe you're burnt out. It's definitely for somebody because we have the Nine of Wands. Card number 1 for Gemini, 10 of Swords. I felt that bittersweet feeling. That's why the 7 of Cups is there. Ace of Wands is very positive. So it's a new beginning and it's a passionate one at that. And you're in the boat already moving towards it. So why would there be the 7 of Cups? Why would there be the 2 of Pentacles? Feeling confused, displaced, not knowing what's going on, battling with the ego. And we all have ego, and ego is healthy. And we should all have an ego, in my opinion, or we'd all be dead. So it's not about bashing the ego. It's about ego is weird. You think that ego would mean that you think you're better than other people. Sometimes ego is not admitting to yourself that you're actually an expert in something. Ego is weird that way, where especially if you grew up with some sort of like belief system, King of Swords, like say it's religious, for example, because I know this well, so I know how to convey the message. It's like we're taught basically to be martyrs in the Christian religion. So, it looks bad to not be humble, whatever the hell that means. Because half the people that claim to be humble are the most proud people in the room that you're ever going to come across in your whole fucking life. So I'm seeing this like a doctor not wanting to showcase that they're a doctor. But you went to school, you did the work, you have the patience. I mean, again, you could be like an astrologer or something like that, but it doesn't have to be that. You could be a healer literally, like with this doctor energy in the star. But you could be the sort of healer that's not as like woo woo as we think of like a shaman. You could be somebody that's more cerebral, and we need that. We need that balance. We need people to actually know what they're talking about and not just tell people to do another past life regression when they actually need to go to a therapist that can guide them through a 3-year cognitive therapy approach. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, all the crystals in the world and all the beads in the world, these people with no degrees, I'm just playing devil's advocate because I love it all. I'm just saying sometimes you need a real doctor. Sometimes I'm not saying you are a doctor, but doctor, bad case of loving you. There's something here, though. You have a certain mindset that not everybody in whatever this sphere you're in has, and it's much needed. But anyways, back to this. Leaving on the 6 of Swords from a situation that was actually some sort of a bad situation with the 10 of Swords. And we'll look more into it, but just to keep it simple to start, I felt that you moving in the boat away from something, it's bittersweet because even though you know you're going somewhere new and somewhere better and something more lucrative for some of you here as well with the 9 of Pentacles, it's like I'm seeing it this way. It's like you're being given some sort of an award, but you're just kind of sitting there quietly because some crazy shit just went down in your life and you're kind of trying to keep it together for the ceremony until after you go home. You're laying down in your bed and you're holding your little award here. There could even be a sense of like loneliness right now or displacement. That's because you're meant to be different, Gemini. You're meant to shine a different sort of light. The star is a different light than the sun, right? Like I have this Leo. This is Aquarius. This is this. And this is even this as well. You could struggle with your mind. You're a Gemini. And I have a lot of Virgo. I've got a lot of Mercury in my chart. So I get it. I feel like Geminis have even more Mercury in a way, like more of the effect of Mercury than Virgos do, because we have that kind of earth element to ground us down. And I'm sure a lot of you have like Taurus and stuff in your chart too that helps to ground you down. But I'm just saying, sometimes the thing that you feel is what takes you out of control. Some of us with these big Mercury placements could have things like OCD, and I'm not a doctor, right? I'm just saying OCD or, compulsive thoughts or intrusive thoughts and stuff like that makes us feel kind of dark at times, depending. Not projecting it on you if it's not for you, but just saying it for those who it is for. There is a neuroticism with this Aquarius energy here, implying to me with all these swords that you could be struggling with. I'm hearing a diagnosis right now. This part is not for everybody. And you know what, Gemini? The very thing that has been challenging for you is actually your greatest strength. You can use this Knight of Swords to really shake things up with this Aquarius energy. There's something very unique about an approach that you have that's needed, and you're going through a transition right now. So just remember that. This is a transition. This is not where you're stationing. Like you're on the move right now towards something new. You were given an Ace of Pentacles at some point, maybe back when you felt more stable. You were like, oh, absolutely, I want to do that. Confirmation. It's kind of like signing up for a class. I'm just confirmation. I'm just going to use this as an example. Like, say I signed up for a class coming this fall, and I signed up for it like 9 months ago, back when my life was more simple, and now this class is coming up and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? I'm completely burnt out. I have nothing left. How the hell am I going to focus on a complicated class? It's something like that. They're saying still do the class. Literal or metaphorical, still do the class. You will succeed. Whatever this is will actually help to ground you down, remind you who you are, remind you of your path. Don't opt out of whatever this is. You said yes for a reason. Things get difficult when you're going the right way, much of the time. Card number 2, Strength card. There's a taming of the ego here. Again, I'm not saying that how other people say it. I feel like people talk about the ego and they're saying it kind of like condescending, like they don't have one. Taming of the ego to me is learning self-control. That's a virtue. Again, it's going back to this. You could feel like your mind gets out of control and it kind of takes the driver's seat and it makes you feel like you lose your composure. But this is the funny thing, is I'm seeing footage of you, Gemini. When you're feeling like this, Knight of Swords, I'm seeing footage of you. You just still look like this to everybody else. And it's not about everybody else, right? It's not about what people think of us. But I'm just saying, you could think like, oh my God, I'm losing my composure. People don't even notice. So don't worry about other people right now. Focus completely on yourself. All of that energy, all of that attention that you would be using to worry about what other people could be thinking, or maybe you shouldn't have said that, or maybe you shouldn't have done that, or maybe you should have done it a different way, or maybe you should have done this or that or this or that. Do not focus your energy on that. Funnel all of that into this. It takes a lot of energy and power to wrangle this lion. Focus all of that on yourself. Be like an Aquarius. Aquarius energy, I find, does this best. The law of detachment. Where maybe all that's true. Maybe all those people think all those things. Oh, well. Let them. It's kind of just detaching. Like, let yourself just kind of not care. And I'm not saying that in a way like you don't care, like you don't care about things in general. I'm saying there's something about right now more than ever is the time to not care. And focus all of your attention on this beast. Taming this beast. It's not about this. This is like an overactive mind. This is much bigger than that. This is like learning to tame your own soul so that you have access to the way your own energy flows. I'm seeing you like with this King of Swords. I'm seeing you in front of this big machine. It's like you're going down a spiral staircase into the basement of where this lion's cage resides, right? So to speak. And you're standing in front of this big machine with all of these buttons. It kind of looks like a soundboard or something like that. Or, if you've ever been in like the cockpit of an airplane, there's a lot of buttons and levers and doohickeys. And I'm just seeing you standing there like the commander of the ship. And you are able to control which way your own energy goes and flows. With Leo, and you could have Leo in your chart. With Leo is the king. Leo is the leader energy. There's something about you stepping into a different sort of leadership role here with the Page of Pentacles. You've been the King of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles, right? You could even make a living off of your mind, essentially, which is a beautiful thing. But there's something here that is developing where it's more than that. There's something about you being able to literally control the way that your energy flows in and out of your own system. And this is different than air. This is fire. You can't control a wildfire. You know, this is like trying to control anger. Good luck. You know, if somebody is blackout angry, you can't just cerebrally tell that person to calm down. And this could even be regarding yourself. And I've struggled with all this as well. So I'm not pointing you out, Gemini. I'm saying you and me both. You know what I mean? Like it's like a blackout fill in the blank, whether it's anger, whether it is some sort of self-deprecating thoughts that can skew darker sometimes and lighter other times, right? You know, this could be feeling unbalanced or, you know, not really knowing how to regulate things in this system. So this is what they're showing. You are about to step into a new phase where you will have full control over your system and nothing will be able to affect that. Even the most extreme situations that would take anybody out of character, you're just going to be able to truly sit there fully composed, fully stoic. Even your mind will... It's like you're teaching your mind how to play dead, like a dog trick. Like how people can train their dog like to play dead or whatever. It's like you're feeding this dog, this lion, these treats, and you're training. That's what this is. You're going into a time of training, Gemini. Not that you haven't been through many of these prior. That's how you became the King of Swords. But this is something different. This is like boots on the ground stuff with the Page of Pentacles. This is not mind-based. This is like the hands-on tactile stuff in the real world where it's not just a mindset, it's a fucking reality. And no one can shake you out of that once you have that. I'm telling you. I've been working on this the past, like, I will probably say at least 5 years that I've been forced into a corner to work on exactly what I'm talking about here. To, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you, trigger warning, to the point of some very dark thoughts. So, you know, if you do need a guiding light at this time, if you feel like it would be beneficial to, you know, just have like a counselor that you go to or somebody to help you walk through things or some sort of a community to help you move through this time, that would be helpful, as it was for me at different points in my life. See how she's loving this lion too? Like she's petting him. Like he's happy. He's like a dog. She's not whipping this guy. She's not telling it it's worth nothing and what's wrong with you and how could you do this and how could you say this and how could you let this happen? And I'm not saying you're always doing that, Gemini. I'm just saying, like, there's something, like, harsh about this Ten of Swords. This could be where you came from. Your mind could have been subconsciously conditioned with harsh words or betrayals, things that not everybody goes through in other words, that made you feel possibly even like it was safer to retreat. You're a Gemini anyways, but so you already are leaning this way, but safer to retreat into your mind than to live fully embodied in the strength card energy, where you can truly feel all the senses and all the emotions, whether negative or positive, and it feels like you still are able to keep control of yourself. Does that make sense? You have a lot of power here with this Leo and Aquarius energy. And you're very creative as well. 5th house, 11th house, possibly even in front of an audience, right? You could be some sort of a teacher with the King of Swords. You could be, somebody that speaks to a group. But this is coming through with a different element. This is like there's something new here about this. We're going to have to look a little bit deeper into what exactly this could be meaning for you, Gemini. Let me just take a sip here. I find that Gemini energy is some of the most creative energy, some of the most unique energy, the wackiest energy next to like Aquarius, right? But I love Gemini. There's that guy, what's his name? What the hell is his name? He's a wrestler. His name's Seth. I always forget this guy's name. Something freaking Rollins, I think. He's a Gemini. He comes out with these crazy costumes and like these big glasses and everything. He had sunglasses that were regular sunglasses and it had like a third eye, so it had 3 eyes. That's why I love Gemini. So anyways, that's coming through as like creativity. Things could be becoming more fun. Yeah, that's something. This is very cold, detached, and cerebral. I mean, it would need to be if you're like a surgeon or a doctor, right? Even if you're not literally in the 3D world, you could be some sort of spiritual equivalent. Like you could help people like exorcise demons or something like that. You could help people cut away cord cutting. Like you're somebody that does that sort of work. With the star, you're a healer, but you have your tools sharpened like a doctor. You have your hands washed and you do things correctly by the book. You don't let things get messy. You take pride in keeping yourself straightening your tie, male, female, non-binary, however you identify, and making sure that we keep things professional, right? So there's something here about feeling like you're getting out of control, but this is what's actually happening. You're actually getting in tune with how you really feel for once in your fucking life. And I'm not saying that rude to you. I'm saying like you're actually letting yourself go there without criticizing yourself or putting yourself down or being like, what's wrong with me? I'm so emotional. I'm losing my cool, or I'm letting my mind get away from me. I'm getting too out there. I need to pull it back in. No, this is the time to actually get in there and wrestle this beast once and for all. Face the shit that's happened. The stuff that's been suppressed. Because for some of you here, it's like you feel like you can't get out of character. You have like a certain routine here. You have to keep on a schedule. There's a lot of pressure here. You could feel burnt out. There's an element here of like there's something feeling out of control. This is part of this new chapter. It's actually going to feel fun, creative, flirty, like 5th house. Like this could even be like if you're looking for love or if you're already in a relationship, this could even be, I know this is a side note, but like spicing things up here, things feeling more fun. There's something about things feeling too serious, and that's when things get too serious. That's when they get a little bit like scarier, overwhelming, or feeling kind of hopeless. Your hope is going to return. You're just burnt out right now, Gemini. You're going to be okay. And like I said, if you do feel like you need outside help with the King of Swords, of course seek help. And there's lots of alternative sorts of help too. You don't have to go, to cognitive therapy if that's not what you want to do. There's lots of different ways. There's even like art therapy. Like you could, with this Leo energy, there's something here that's shifting. It's going from a cold, sterile vibe, which like I said before, very necessary, very needed for things in general. Because then it gets too out there and nobody has any degrees and, people are suing people. You need a King of Swords, right? But there's something here about this is warming up the place. With this Leo energy, this sun, warm, fun, summertime energy, even if it's not the summer when you're watching this anymore, this just feels this feels kind of like a Wiccan celebration. See the garlands? There could even be a nod to having like a really beautiful like ceremony of some kind coming up this year around Halloween time, if you celebrate, where this will be a time where you can gain your strength back. I know I'm parking on this, Gemini. I'm going to move forward. But one more time on this 9 of Wands, because that burnout feeling is very present here. You could have a very strict routine, and it's done you well, and you've become very successful because of it with the 9 of Pentacles. And I'm proud of you, Gemini. But I'm just saying, there's something here about 9 of Wands, Strength card. You've been strong for a really long time, and it's kind of like the doctor takes off his doctor garb and sets all of his tools aside, puts on a Speedo, and goes to the fucking beach. It's something like that. It's like the guy's all white and everything. No tan. And I'm not making fun of you, Gemini. I'm just being funny. I'm just saying it's like it's gonna feel a little bit awkward. It's like maybe you're somebody who's like works back in the lab or something like that with the King of Swords, like you barely see the light of day, and it's like now you're coming out here like a kid playing outside in the sun. This is a metaphor. And it might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but that's part of the learning. It's deep. It could even bring up past stuff from when you were a child. You could have felt like you were kind of a serious kid. It's like you're getting a second chance at childhood is what I'm seeing, Gemini, and that's so beautiful. Very happy feeling. Card number 3. Wow. 2 of Cups. If you're already in a relationship, like I said, there's something here about I'm seeing it like this. If you're already in a relationship, or even if you're not, if this is somebody new and you're just kind of like getting to know somebody, take it as it resonates, dating somebody, whatever, or this is to come. I'm seeing specifically if somebody is with somebody already. I'm seeing like one of those role play situations, like say you're both like out at a nice restaurant or standing up at the bar and you're like, have I seen you before? And there's like a role play of you and like your husband or whoever this is. I'm seeing it like that with this very Leo. Where it's like one of those role plays where you like pretend the person's a stranger. Anyways, sexy. Love it. But that's not for everybody. I'm just saying, like, there could have even been like something going on here in a relationship and something's being renewed. It's like the whole relationship, I'm seeing it going through the washing machine, then going through a tumble dry, and now it's like, here's the t-shirt. You're folding the clothes, putting on this t-shirt that is the relationship, and it's like you're reintroducing yourself again, sort of a thing. I believe that things can be healed even after things happen, right? But for some of you, this is not an old person that you've been with for a while. This is somebody new, and we're going to look into it. But they're correcting me again. They're saying, or they're adding this on. They're saying it's not a new person, but it's going to feel like a new person because the relationship's being renewed. I'm seeing something about like marriage counseling or something, like maybe you guys were going to marriage counseling or that's the advice. I'm not sure. See, I believe in that. I don't believe we should just throw people away like fucking trash if you've been with them for a long time. Now, if there's abuse and stuff like that, then that's a different story. But Ace of Swords. Part of this like crash out energy, and I'm not saying you're crashing out, I'm just saying with the Knight of Swords and stuff. See, this to me, I'm free to say I crash out like this, so. And I'm a fellow Mercury, so you could have been like looking over stuff, thinking about stuff if it was about a relationship or about some sort of position. Yeah, there's something here that kind of pushed something over the edge, but it pushed you right into the boat, Gemini, and that was the point. This is actually a new beginning. This is something positive. This is something benevolent I'm hearing, and I'm seeing an owl. I'm seeing an owl give you some sort of a blessing. Let's clarify these. Boom. See, this is about your calling, Gemini. But again, this is also some sort of a renewal, like a rising from the dead, something being born again after it died, whether that is some sort of relationship with the Two of Cups, whether it's relationships in general, like maybe you like gave up on relationships or you're like, fuck this. My last ones were so bad. Yeah, see, it's like you're walking away from something else and you're moving into a judgment phase. And to me, a judgment phase is there's a lot of feelings there with the Seven of Cups, and it can feel confusing. And the Two of Pentacles, it can feel all over the place, especially if you need to keep a very tight ship with the Two of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Like you have things you need to get done with the Nine of Pentacles. You can't just like go fuck off in the backyard and cry, like you have to, keep things together. And I feel like there's a side of you that just wants to crash out right now. You can crash out a little bit here and there and still, trust me, I do it every day. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying, like, I've been crashing out here and there too. And as long as we just like integrate that, we're kind to ourselves, and we regain the control again with the Strength card, that's part of what we're all learning here, then we can properly go through our emotional cycle. Again, I'm seeing it like the cycles of a washing machine and a dryer. You can go through the full cycle, come out the other side, still we're able to process your emotions and have like a little bit of a crash out moment, and then still be able to maintain control over your overall situation. Sometimes I literally schedule crash outs. I know that's very Virgo, but I'll literally be like, okay, I have to edit this stuff. I have to do this. I have to do 5 other things. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm going to take an hour, go sit in my chair quietly. What I do is I just like, I sit in my rocking chair I light my candles, I have my cards nearby, I have my journal, I meditate, I hold my crystals, and then usually once I close my eyes, I'll start getting visions or I'll commune with my guides and they'll start showing me things. Emotions will come up, I'll start crying or I'll start feeling really angry or agitated or pissed off depending on the day, right? Um Sometimes it's just because I'm drinking too much damn coffee. Other times, none of us are these saints, right? Like we have stuff, and sometimes you have to schedule a crash out. And to me, a crash out is just like me feeling my feelings and not judging them. I'm not some perfect person. None of us are. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to get pissed off. It's okay to be like, I'm done with this shit. It's okay to feel like, for a moment or two, like I'm a loser, or why did I do that, or whatever. And then we can come in and just be like, lots of people do stuff like that. Like we're humans. Like we make mistakes. We do things that we regret. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to have a fucking human moment. That could be part of this awakening too, is to give yourself the same courtesy that you give everybody else. Someone's name could be Kurt. Or you could be kind of curt sometimes. Yeah, look, then we have the Knight of Swords. And I almost dropped my whole deck. You could feel like, I'm dropping everything. I'm seeing like a professor walk out of a college class and they're dropping all their books and their papers are going everywhere. Yeah, look at this. Look at all these swords, Gemini. I mean, you're an air sign, but I'm just saying, it's like, but you're getting on the boat. Whatever this bullshit is, and it's not bullshit, it's, it's you. It's there's an element of radical acceptance coming through here. They don't even want me to talk like that, even though I'm just messing around with you. I'm just trying to be human, right? In a fucking AI society. But yeah. It's like petting this lion like a dog, like a pet. Like this is your pet. This is really you. But I'm saying, if you can't think of it as yourself right away, think of it like, would you smack your dog? You know what I'm saying? It's like you'd give your dog a bone, you'd pet your dog. Like if you feel unregulated, that's why we have service animals. Like animals can help us calm down. Like treat yourself like an animal. Some of you might need to have some fucking crazy ass sex or something. I don't know. And get all that out. I don't know. Or something. Like there's something about like unbuttoning the shirt, the tie, like it's too tight. If there's something too tight here, there's something, but you need to be that way with the King of Swords. So I'm not saying that that's a negative thing. I'm saying overall, it's like maybe it's just become I'm seeing overgrown plants. Like it's become your whole life. The whole yard is overgrown. It's like there's more to life than being a King of Swords. There's love, there's connection, there's your feelings. That could be part of the awakening too, where it feels like shit as you're awakening because all this crap is coming up. And again, it's not crap, it's your memories, it's your life, it's the stuff you've gone through. And a lot of it's beautiful, Gemini. And some of you are called to speak about this, write about this, King of Swords stuff, right? I'm seeing like PowerPoint presentations. You have the mind. You have a mind that is needed, but sometimes it turns on you. And that's because this same mind is connected down into all of this painful stuff. I'm seeing it like roots of a tree, could be family issues, family tree that goes way, way, way down and way, way back, past life stuff too, with the Judgment card, where it's subconscious stuff. And you could just think like, what's my problem? But really it's family cycles. that don't even have anything to do with your actual origin story in this specific life. So it's not about being hard on yourself. I think that that's part of the issue. You and me both. So let's clarify these. 10 of Swords, Strength, and the Two of Cups for Gemini. Ten of Swords. What is this Ten of Swords? Just as I suspected. You were given this pentacle, and then all this happened. They want you to keep with the plan. And Ten of Swords doesn't necessarily have to be one thing. This could be memories coming up. This could be all these swords could be different memories, different emotions coming up, different thoughts, because thoughts are connected to emotions. And emotions are what make us feel bad or good, but you could feel like you were excited about something. Or for some, this is what's about to happen. And this is like a warning to say, this is very positive. Now you're being given this pentacle. Do not get off track once this stuff starts surfacing, because you're going to turn this Ace of Pentacles into a Page of Pentacles. Because that's what happens. I don't know about you guys, but the second I start on something new, it's like all this stuff comes up. There's always 1,000 distractions. There's all this stuff to do. All of a sudden, I feel unmotivated. I feel like crap. I'm burnt out. There's bills to pay, that I didn't expect. Or just whatever, just all the typical pentacle-y sort of stuff that you have to deal with. But this is coming through as Swords. And this is a very painful card. It's a painful energy. That could be what has your mind swirling. Remember, this pentacle was a gift from Spirit, and it's leading you somewhere with the Six of Swords. It's leading you to the Ace of Wands. See, the Ace of Wands is where you start to feel that excitement energy, that motivation energy. You could be feeling unmotivated right now, tired, burnt out, Nine of Wands, going through a lot, Ten of Swords. But as long as you keep moving on the boat with this pentacle, it's like you're clutching this pentacle as you're moving on the boat. All you know is you have this pentacle and you're moving through the storm. Once you get off that boat, the school is right there. You're going to walk right in there. You're going to go see Mrs. Flannery at the front desk, check in with Mrs. Flannery, and you're going to go to room 16B. That's your class. It's going to be okay. You're not alone. Seven of Cups. First day of school always feels like that. This is exciting. You're ending cycles that took down other people in your family. You're going to be happy. You're going to be the happiest one with the sun. And you're going to have a much more fun life. Like, you're just going to feel happier. Like, not everything has to be so cold and so cerebral. And I'm not saying you're trying to do that on purpose, Gemini. Geminis just love to learn. Geminis are academia. Geminis are fun though. Like, when I think of a Gemini, like my sister, she's always smiling. She's always laughing. She's always, people love my sister no matter where she goes. Her name is Mary. She's very social. She's very sweet. But sometimes Geminis can get too in their head, right? And there's more to life that God, spirit, the universe wants you to have. And it's a blessing. You're being given this blessing, this pentacle that's going to lead you to a whole new exciting chapter where you can learn all these new things. And Geminis love to learn. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be scary. I promise. Strength card. 7 of Cups in the reverse. Right on schedule. It's not going to feel like it does in the boat. You're going to love it here. It's kind of like going to sleepaway camp and you're like scared to leave your parents. The energy, I'm not saying literally. It's like, it's that sort of experience with the Page of Pentacles, because the Page of Pentacles is like a kid, right? So it's like you're going to sleepaway camp for the summer and it's like, I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen there. All these questions. I'm getting all these questions. How will I feel? Who's going to be there? How do I know how to get to the bathroom? What if I can't find the bathroom? What if something happens? What if the sheets are too itchy? Like, what if I get a cold and there's no nurse there? What if the nurse isn't qualified? Like, that's very Gemini. But it's in the reverse. It's not going to be scary at all. You're going to love it. You're never going to want to go home. It's going to be fun. It's going to be 5th house stuff, right? 2 of Cups, and you might even meet somebody there. Or you're going there with somebody that you love, and it's going to be really fun together. We have the Devil here. This stuff is coming up, Gemini, to challenge you into a new season. It's to push you into a new season. Please clarify the 2 of Cups for Gemini. The Page of Cups wanted to come out. I'm going to take it. Excuse me, what is this Page of Cups? Confirmation. For some of you, this is about a marriage. There's like a new phase in your marriage. There could be an apology, and it doesn't have to be a marriage for everybody. Hierophant can just be a long-term commitment as well. For some of you, this is like the headmaster of a school, and you're just like coming in there like a kid, right? What is this Page of Cups with the 2 of Cups? Queen of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. For some of you, this is a position. For some of you, it's Positions by Ariana Grande, if you know what I mean. But yeah. I got a lot of Leo. But yeah. We have fun. But yeah. I feel like somebody could be apologizing to you, Gemini, or you're apologizing to somebody. You could even be a cross-watcher. Somebody could be a Gemini could be apologizing to you, possibly. Take it as it resonates, guys. But there's something about a position here. Can I ask? Because when I saw that Hierophant, I was like, oh, It could even be some sort of spiritual initiatory thing. The Judgment card, and it flew right out onto the Strength card. This is some sort of an awakening, Gemini. Or again, some sort of a renewal in a relationship, or this could even just be all solo with the 9 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. This could be the sides of you like communing again. I'm seeing you having like a split here. Now, I'm not a doctor and I'm not diagnosing anybody, but you know, if you do have like BPD, for example, like there is something called splitting when it comes to BPD. And when you split, you know, you can't, it's like that blackout we were talking about earlier. So if you are diagnosed with BPD, you know, this is not to say like, well, just don't go splitting. It's not saying that. It's saying there's something about being, everything's manageable, right? No one's hopeless. I don't care what diagnosis we have. Everybody can be happy with the sun. You know, it's Even if it's like ADHD or something, there's lots of ways. Again, I'm not going to talk about medications just because I can't, but I'm just saying. I'm hearing something about splitting, and I know that has to do with BPD, so that's just for somebody. But yeah, there's something about also, I'm seeing this in another context. Splitting meaning compartmentalizing with the King of Swords. It's like splitting away from your emotions and putting them in a box. I'm seeing you opening up this really beautiful, like, family heirloom. It looks like something from that your grandmother would have had, but you put little jewelry in. For some of you, it's a little ballerina. When you open it, the ballerina spins around. I'm seeing you taking your emotions out of that little chest. Taking all your emotions out of that chest, out of your chest. And looking at each one of these swords like a piece of jewelry. Years ago, I used to go to this place called Santa's Village every summer because I used to go to New Hampshire, Lake Winnipesaukee area, like near the White Mountains. Shout out if you know what Santa's Village is, but so there's this guy that would always work at Santa's Village, and he had these like long strips of metal that looked just like this, and he was like a silversmith. He would bang these pieces of metal and he would turn them into a ring, and you'd walk around the park with like that ring on your finger. For some of you, this is coming through as a relationship thing, ring, and I'm hearing 7 Rings by Ariana Grande, but there's also something very sexual here. There's like a sexually charged energy, and I don't know how to describe that. And so that could be coming up too, where there could have been some suppression here. Leo will do the trick. Themes of Leo will help with that. But anyways, I'm not trying to joke about this, guys. I'm actually very serious with this because I'm seeing you like opening up that beautiful chest, and there's all of these 10 swords in there. And you're looking at them differently. You're realizing each one of these swords, each one of these painful memories, I can turn them into rings. I can wear a ring on each finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rings. Eat your heart out, Ariana Grande. It's not 7, it's 10, bitch. I'm just kidding. Anyways. Anything else in closing? Just overall, we'll end on this gem. You are the gems of the zodiac. Don't forget it. 7 of Wands. With the moon. You could have subconsciously had walls up and were not even realizing how many blessings you were actually blocking out, as well as your own growth. And that's why Spirit, for some of you, kind of pushed you into that boat so that you could, go be on your way to school. And there's something here about like not wanting to go. I'm seeing you like crying, not wanting to go. There could even be like memories coming up from when you were a kid, Gemini, where you like didn't want to go to school or you didn't want to do a certain thing. Could even be about love here, Gemini, just the grand concept of love in general and relationships. There could be a lot going on. You could even feel like bored in a relationship or dissatisfied in some way. And no judgment here, Gemini. I'm just saying like something like that where you have this drive. Maybe it's even like a sex drive and you feel like you want to like act that out. This is all healthy. This is good. This is normal. You can't be a King of Swords all the time. You got to have a weekend, right? You could be a reader, you could be you could be some sort of spiritualist here where sometimes we get too focused on everybody else and don't take any like time for ourselves, fun for ourselves. So I love you so much, Gemini. I hope this was helpful. And remember, you don't have to be a Gemini for this to resonate. It just will resonate more for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Even Venus, Mercury, Mars, I would argue. But check your houses. And to get your houses, you need to know your time of birth, where you were born, and obviously the date you were born. If you go to Astro Cafe, I like them. There's many, many sites, but I use them all the time. I use them for readings and stuff too. So you can get your birth chart. I know I got a lot of trines. Maybe you have a lot of trines too. Trines are funny because it's like people say that makes you it's a good aspect, but you have to kind of push yourself. I'm seeing the 4 of Cups. Like if you kind of are just like naturally take to certain things. I feel like you're very, very smart, Gemini. Things are very easy for you that are very hard for other people. And I feel like sometimes you take that for granted. Like I started off with at the beginning of the reading, thinking like, okay, you need to actually realize like how smart you really are, how talented you really are, how much you actually know. Give yourself that credit so you can move on to the next thing. I'm getting that. So yeah. I love you guys. It's been Missy Gordon, the Meta Mystic here, wearing my fabulous leonine golden whatever. I don't know. I'm going all out for the Lionsgate portal today. I have all my manifestations written out. I have my lion sounds roaring in the background on my laptop right now out there. Candles lit. All my little like altar set with all my stuff. Got my lion statue, my gold coins, all that stuff, right? So, and we can do all that stuff for the new moons coming up. It's not just for the, confirmation. It's not just I would love to show you guys some of that stuff sometimes. Might have to do a little bit of behind the scenes stuff for manifestation work because I love that. Like I do all this stuff behind the scenes. I live this. I don't just talk about it on fucking YouTube. So anyways, we're going to be doing the new moon. Well, we have the full moon in Aquarius. By the time you watch this, it'll be over, but we'll have the new moon coming up. We'll do readings on the new moons. We have all the zodiac signs left to do. So far we've done Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So we have all these guys left. I hope to see you guys. Everybody can watch these, and I would recommend it because you're going to get something in each and every one of them. Each and every reading. All right, everybody. Remember, you can always listen to the Meta Mystic Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST, as well as on my YouTube channel at the Meta Mystic, talking like a Gemini. I love it here. You can always watch my short 3-minute readings every single day on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at the Meta Mystic if you want to see this thing every day. Thank you to those who donate and support the show. I deeply appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I always see your donations. I can't like them on PayPal, but just know I get them because I can heart them and stuff on Cash App and Venmo, but on PayPal I can't. I don't want to be like creepy and email back with like some, you know what I'm saying? So just thank you so much to those of you who send PayPal and send your super thanks in the comments. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I'm sending blessings your way. Anything else? Oh, you can always book a reading if you are interested. And feel free to let me know your astro information, and we can take a look at your chart as well. If you're looking for that. I can't do like a totally in-depth chart reading. At least at this time, I'm not offering that, I should say. I can, but I'm not offering that. But if you do have like a specific question and you also want to take a little bit of a look at just a brush through your chart, let me know. I've been doing charts for people recently. I've done a few recently, and it's been really like interesting, and I've loved doing it. And I've done it for, I've done it here and there, but I feel like I'm being kind of led more in that direction. So just letting you guys know that you're free to also send me your birth chart stuff if you want to get a personal. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.